Hi, and welcome to episode 12 of the Naptime Knitting Podcast. I am your host and Mama Bear Allison, and I am coming to you from my home where I live with my family outside of Columbus, Ohio, where I live with my husband James, our 2-year-old daughter Winry, and our dog Artemis. So this is a knitting podcast where I share with you all of my makes, finished objects, acquisitions, knitting plans, pretty much the basics with a little bit of life updates sprinkled in here and there. If you are a new reviewer, hello and welcome, and if you are a returning friend, thank you again for coming back. So let's see what I have in store for you today. I have 0 finished objects. I have a lot of work in progresses. Just a very small acquisition portion, and of course we gotta just chat about the knit along. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we'll start off quickly with what am I wearing. So I am sure you guys have seen this a gazillion times already because it is one of my most worn objects, and that is my bubble cardigan. I absolutely love this. This is made with Moonglow Yarn Co. On her 80/20 base, and go over the colors really quickly just in case you are new here. This green is Willow, then we have Aspen, Arabesque, Eclipse, Driftwood, Burnt Hollow, Olivine Dream, and Amethyst. I absolutely love this, and I will get into the details of how I made it in just a moment when I chat about one of my work in progresses, because I am making another one. I live in this one so much I needed another. So let's go ahead and just chat about my works in progress and what I've been working on. Okay, so since I just mentioned the bubble cardigan, of course by Stephen West, thought the first work in progress I should share is my other one that I have been working on. And this is my Mermaid bubble cardigan. So as you can see, the body is done. I finished the ribbing and the I-cord bind off last night. So since I saw you guys 3 weeks ago, this is my progress for just this project. So my my progress keeper, let's see if I can, oh my goodness, there's so much fabric here. Let's see if I can't get it to focus on this. Okay, so this is an adorable progress keeper by Charmed and Dangerous, and I love it. It is a mason jar with a 2 lightning bugs inside of them. So I knit from here all the way down, and I did the bottom ribbing, so the bottom hem, and did the I-cord bind off. So all I have to do is weave in a lot of ends on both sides, pick up the sleeves, knit both sleeves, and then pick up and knit the collar. So I am hoping to get this done by the end of the month, and of course later on I will chat with you guys about all of my plans for the month of September. So let's see, I think I have just 1 or 2. Yeah, so one of the modifications that I did, pretty much the only modification that I did on this one, is the bottom hem. I believe it calls for a size 3. I decided, because I like a tighter ribbing, so I went down to a size 2. And everything else is pretty much the same. The yarn that I am using is also by Whitney over at Moonglow Yarn Co. I'm using her Mermaid Fade, and it is turning out beautifully. So let's chat about the colors. So this first one here is Midnight Violet. Then we have, oh gosh, Gumdrop, Saltwater Taffy, Mermint, Mermazing, no, Sea Glass, sorry. Mermint, Sea Glass, Capri, and Mermaid Lagoon. I believe those are all of the names. I'm having a complete brain fart today. But I'm pretty sure those are the names. And again, this is the Mermaid Fade. And it's so funny, like I'm at the point where I need to make a decision. This is the inside. I just love the texture and everything that it has, and it's just like a part of me wants what would be the inside, the reverse side, to be the main side, and I don't know if I want, like, I really like it, but I think I'm just gonna make it the regular way. I know there is a sweater that's still in testing that has pretty much this texture is the wrong side, or sorry, the right side of the sweater. So who knows, I could use some scraps to make one of those. But progress wise, everything is the same. So use my Haya sharps, because that is my preference. Recommended needle size for this ribbing, I went down to a 2 instead of the 3, so I'm pretty sure this is a 5, a US 5 and a US 3. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of to mention with this, but not really. So again, this is my Mermaid Cardigan by Stephen West. Okay, so I've got a lot of different things and whips to show you. I have worked on 6 different projects since I chatted with you last, and a couple are actually, 2 are new cast-ons. One you haven't seen, it is not a new cast-on, it's a carryover from last month, but you haven't seen it yet. But let's go ahead and chat about one of my other works in progresses that had just a very small amount of work on it. First off, I'm housing this project in my Stitching Plaza project bag here. It was a collaboration with Natalie over at Nitty Natty, and this was for Stockmas from last year. I love this bag. So I am housing my Radvent Cardigan, and as you can see, it's connected. It turned out a little shorter than I thought it would, and I'm hoping once I pick up into the ribbing and everything, it won't be as cropped as I'm thinking it's going to turn out to be. But if it is cropped, that's okay. I think this is just going to pretty much be a cardigan I'll wear around the house or throw it on over dresses just to kind of cover up my arms as I'm working. But I seamed it. So the pattern calls for a Kitchener stitch, so you graft it together. I tried and I tried and I tried several different times to Kitchener this together. I can't get it. I haven't figured it out yet. This is my first time, my first attempt at doing a Kitchener stitch, and that's a lot of stitches to try to do. So what I decided to do was I gave up. I'm like, I just want to start working on it. I want to get it off my needles and finished. So I decided to do a 3 needle bind off. I am struggling with words today, guys. I apologize. So what I have left is to essentially do the bottom ribbing and then the button band. So the yarn that I used for this was all mini skeins that I had from Long Dog Yarn. And it was so fun to knit every morning. Winry, I would let her pick out one of the little balls from in here, and that's the color I would knit on that day. It was super fun, and I'm pretty sure my plan is for the holiday advents that I got for this December, I am going to have her help me open everything. Granted, I want to do it in sequential order, so every day, so I do want to keep it in order, so I can't necessarily let her pick out the day, the yarn, but I can at least let her help open. But it was really fun. So if I try to do any scrappy projects where it doesn't matter the order, I'm going to do that because that was just, it was so fun and she enjoyed it too. And let's see, so the cuff I used Hypnotic yarn from the Yarnable subscription that I was receiving, and this is March's colorway of this year, and the colorway Shenanigans. I believe this is all on a 75-25 base. That's the Bounce Sock from Long Dog Yarn, and I can't wait to get this thing off of the needles. And the thing I'm looking forward to the most is picking out the buttons. That's going to go on the button band. So not much work done on this, but it's still work. It's together. It's one piece now, and I can do the easy part, which is going to be just lots and lots of twisted rib. So that is whip number 2. What else have I been working on? And the next work in progress is my Lapis, which I'm housing in this beautiful bag by Bags by Awesome Granny. And here's my Lapis. I have tons of progress to show you guys. So here she is. Got a lot of progress. So got progress going in 2 different directions for you guys. So I was working on the color work, or pretty much the beginning, so it's a provisional cast on. So where this progress keeper is here, that is where the provisional cast on is. So I knit from here to here. That's how much I had when I saw you guys last. So from my adorable GG stitch marker from Keys Delivery Service, made by Charmed and Dangerous. So from GG all the way up to the top, where I have Kiki from Keys Delivery Service, also by Charmed and Dangerous. And then from here, the bottom hem down, that is the progress. Okay, I apologize about that. It's getting shorter and shorter the amount of time it will let me record. It's now 14 minutes instead of 22. So before I got cut off, as I was saying, my progress is from here down and from here up. So I have finished all of the color work portion. Now I'm just working on the body. I am just knitting away in stockinette stitch. I think according to the pattern, this is a bit more of a cropped project, and I want it to be longer, so I have a decent amount of knitting left to do. I've got maybe, I want to say like 4 or 5 more inches before I get to the point where I can separate and start doing some flat knitting, where I'm going to be doing like the whole top bodice portion. But I do like it so far. I'm liking the colors. So colors, what am I using? Well, I remember one of the colorways and I'm looking for, here it is. Okay, so this color here is the main color, and that is more Moonglow Yarn Co. And the colorway for this one is Forbidden Fruit. And I have paired it, so my contrasting color here is a Long Dog Yarn in the watercolor Wildflowers colorway. And here is her label. Let's see if that'll, okay, I'm not getting it to focus right now. I apologize. I am so out of sorts. I'll explain why a little bit later. But I like how it's turning out. So hopefully this will be finished soon as well. Okay, and I've got 3 more works in progress to share with you guys. And I do not believe you have seen any of the others yet. So the first one is in another Stitching Plaza bag. Her bags are some of my favorites. It's a donut bag with sprinkles. How adorable is that? I could not resist this one. It was too cute. So inside this bag, I am working on a love note. So I'm going to hold it. So here's, of course, the top because it has the provisional cast on. And I am knitting it with a very short circumference. So here is the progress I have so far. I am really enjoying this one. This is actually a gift knit for one of my friends' little ones. I am using, I do not have the ball bands with me, but they're both Knit Picks yarn. So this is Knit Picks Chroma in the Pegasus colorway, and I am using Knit Picks Aloft in the Iceberg colorway, pairing them together. And I am having so much fun working with the Chroma and how it just changes colors. So that'll be really fun. Let's see, so far, this one, everything is to pattern, recommended needles, high sharps. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to share with this. Not really. I got the yarns all caught up. But I am using this adorable stitch marker here. It is a koala donut from Charmed and Dangerous, and I want to say this was June's colorway. I mean, not colorway, June's donut of the month, but I cannot remember. Okay. So there's that. Two more. Okay, so the next one is being housed in this beautiful bag that I have been putting my Straya in, but I moved a different project into this one, and Straya got moved to a different bag. So I played musical project bags. So in here is a new cast on, and it's a little messy, but it's not much at the moment. I have my Lace and Fade Boxy on here. Yeah, I am working on the Lace and Fade Boxy, and I believe in the previous episode I talked about the yarn because it was an acquisition. But it's the Desert Rose kit for from Moonglow Yarn Co. for this specific sweater. So the main color here is Cottonwood Breeze, and the lace is also the same color. And I do not know the color name specifically, because as I said, it was a kit. I'm trying to find the next color. It should be in here. Okay, there it is. And then these are going to be the other colors that I'm fading. So it'll go from Cottonwood Breeze to this lightest pink down to this pink. And I am enjoying this. I cannot wait. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. So again, I don't really have too much to talk about it. I've just pretty much started it. I started the lace. I need to tink back and restart the entire lace portion again. I feel like I read the pattern wrong, so I want to redo it. And I think I'm going to put in stitch markers at in between each pattern repeat. So again, I feel like there's not much to say, but this is the Lace and Fade Boxy by Locatelli. And I hope to have a lot more progress to share with you guys next time. And the very last project is something I'm really excited about, and I shared that I was going to be casting this on September 1st as part of the Shop Your Stash make along that I am co-hosting with my friend Bethany over at Gypsy Bird on Instagram and Gypsy Bird Makes Podcast. So in this giant bag, oh my goodness, it's not a bag, it's a basket. This giant basket, I have all of the yarn that I need to make this Beauty and the Beast pullover by Tanis Gray in the Knitting with Disney book. I'm so excited to be working on this, and I have not a whole lot of progress. I have just a little, and I'm gonna try to keep the yarn in its order because I am on a portion where I am doing 3 color stranded knitting, and it's my first time doing 3 colors in the same row, and I hold all of my yarn in the same hand, so that's been a little interesting trying to juggle it. So I'm trying to keep the yarn in the order of color dominance that I'm holding it, so I can keep it in the correct order when I stop. But like I said, it's not much progress, but here it is. I have just started the Enchanted Rose. Come on. So I'm just finished the rose, and now I'm going to be working on the vase, the thing that goes over it, and then the stem. So I am liking it so far. I am using recommended needles, and I have 2 beautiful stitch markers that I'm using for keeping progress. This will be my progress keeper. I'm going to move it up here after I get done filming today, but it is an adorable little fox with a flower crown, and I have an adorable moon with flowers. Both of them are again from Charmed and Dangerous, my absolute favorite polymer clay stitch marker maker, designer. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. Again, my Hiya Sharps, my interchangeables, I use 4-inch tips instead of the 5-inch. I prefer them. I feel like I can grip them better. I guess having smaller hands is a benefit. I feel like I can grip the 4-inch needles a lot better, and they're not too like long like the 5-inch are. So okay, so colors. What yarn have I been using? Well, all of the yarn is Wool of the Andes, sport weight from Knit Picks. There we go. It focused that time around. The main color is Sapphire Heather. The colors I have used so far are Wonderland Heather. This is going to be the cover for the Enchanted Rose. The rose itself was Hollyberry. And then the green stem is the grass colorway. They have tons of other colors. I will be using Semolina, Chestnut, Fairy Tale, Pumpkin, Haze Heather, and White. These are the colors that I'll be using in the color work, and of course this is the main color. I am liking the colors that I've chosen so far. I tried to go as close as, I tried to pick as close as I possibly could with the original, just because I love the colors of the original, and I went the more cost-effective route and chose Knit Picks yarn as opposed to getting the recommended yarn. And again, I think I don't have too much to share so far with this. The big thing that I do want to share about this specific project is, and I can also, I'll chat about it again when I go through kind of like my stash update, but the whole premise of the Shop Your Stash make along is to make projects, start new projects, and just use stash yarn. If you have to supplement new yarn here and there, that's okay. But so long as the vast majority of it is made for 700 yards plus of the project is made from stash yarn, it counts for the knit along. So I will chat about the make along a little bit later, but the big thing that I wanted to share about this specific project is that I took out 22 skeins from my stash. If I have any like full intact skeins, they'll go after I'm done with the project. They can go back in my stash, but anything that I've like used a portion of, it's incomplete, it's not a full skein, and it'll go in my scrap bin. So yeah, that's all of the projects I have been working on since I chatted with you last. What to chat about next? Let's go ahead and chat about some future knits, dream knitting that I have, kind of chat about stash update, future plans, because I've got some plans. So let's go ahead and chat about that in just a moment. Okay, so future knits, dream knitting, stash update, let's get into it. So I've got my bullet journal here, and first I wanted to at least just kind of share the whips that I have brought over, because some of them, again, I haven't touched on in a little bit, but they're still on the needles. So my current whips, of course we chatted about the Mermaid Bubble Cardigan, the Radvent Cardigan, the Lovenote, the Lapis, and the Lace and Fade Boxy. Those were carryovers from last month. I also have my Golden Girls Straya, the All of the Lights cardigan, the Soa Seed shawl, and my souffle, all on the needles still. I had a planned cast on of the Beauty and the Beast pullover to cast on September 1st, because that was the start of the Shop Your Stash make along, and I did that. So that added to my whips. So I have a current total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 active whips. So here's my goal for these whips, because a lot of them I have really a great amount of progress on these these garments. So my Mermaid Fade cardigan, the body's done. I just need sleeves and the ribbing. The Radvent cardigan, body's done. I just need bottom ribbing and the collar. This Golden Girls Straya, again, I need to make the sleeves and the collar. Like, the bulk of the knitting has been done, and I feel like I'm on Sleeve Island for a lot of these projects. Like the Lovenote, that's gonna get done fairly quickly. That has a deadline. That has to get done in a couple of weeks anyways. The Lapis, I feel like my Lapis is going to be done fairly soon. And if I don't get it done this specific month, so long as it's done before Rhinebeck, I really want to finish my Lace and Fade Boxy. So that's kind of my goals. I really want to get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 projects off the needles, or at least get them really, really close to being finished. If I don't finish them, that's okay. It's a very lofty goal for the whole month of September, but I want to get them off the needles. I have so many new projects that I'm really excited to start, and most of them are all going to be coming from stash anyways, and I'm really excited to just start working on my stash. I just want to get these needles, or these projects, off the needles. I want to clear off the needles. I want to get it done, because not only that, I want to wear everything. So that's my goal and my hope. But for future knitting, the only new cast or planned cast on that I had for the month was my the Beauty and the Beast pullover. I was planning to potentially start one other project for the Shop Your Stash make along, but I decided not to. I decided it would be more realistic to just focus on this one sweater and finish everything else, and then I can have more time to that other sweater. I'm the host. If I don't finish my sweater during the make along by Halloween, that's okay. I'm the host. I'm not eligible for prizes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. But I really want to focus the whole month of October on, if any of these projects have been carried over from September to October, I want to finish them. Of course, I'm going to be giving myself time. My goal isn't to get the Beauty and the Beast pullover finished until the end of the make-along anyways, so I have 2 months to do that. But I am planning on casting on and participating in Stephen West's mystery knit-along for his shawl in October. So he released his guidelines and recommendations for the colors for this make-along. Well, guess what? I shopped my stash. I was able to find the 2 colors that you need 2 skeins of. So 4 of the 5 skeins will be coming from my stash. So let me show you what I'm planning on using. So I am planning on using, here it is. We have blue agave, the Cash Silk Sock Base, which is a 75 superwash wool, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. And I'm going to pair it with this color, which is Powder Rose, same exact base. And I purchased a really nice variegated that kind of has both of these, but it's white. It's like more white with a little bit of some speckling and other colors mixed in on it, and I feel like it's going to be a really good like contrast for these two. I mean, these two I feel like they go together, but I feel like they have a decent amount of contrast, and the color that I chose, I really think it's gonna look good together. So I have more than 2 of these and more than 2 of these, but I'm gonna be getting 4 skeins out of stash for this specific make along or knit along, and I'm really excited. I was planning on participating last year, but the colors that I chose I didn't like. They were bleeding in really well together, and I used them to make this. So the first colors, and of course I striped them all next to each other, and it does look okay, but it does kind of like bleed together, so I needed a lot more contrasty colors. But the Willow, Aspen, Arabesque, Eclipse, and Driftwood, those 5 colors were what I had picked out for shawlography, and then I decided not to make it. And that's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to change your mind with any yarn that you have purchased for a specific project. That's okay. If mood strikes you to make something else, make it. That is okay. And then I was just like, I really want to make this project, and then I was seeing all of this, everybody making it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to make it or not. But now I kind of wish that I had. So I'm participating this year. That's my hope. I want to get all of these projects off of the needles so that I can focus on the shawl and I can focus on the sweater and have those 2 projects and probably something else that I may or may not cast on that's going to be mindless for my daytime knitting during staff meetings and things, because I can't do color work during that. I don't know what the shawl is going to be, so I don't know. Typically there's a lot of thought into his the patterns and his project, so it's like you got to put a little bit of thought into it. I mean, I know this is a Stephen West project, but it's a really simple pattern, and it's easy, you know, it's easily memorized, and it's, you know, you can easily do it as you're like talking and just keeping your hands busy. So yeah, that's my plans. I don't know if there's going to be anything else cast on for the month of October, but I do have lots of plans for afterwards. And of course, when it gets timed for that, I will chat about them. My thought is I'm going to revamp and redo my Make 9 board, because I'm really not making anything that I put on my board. My inspiration has gone elsewhere, so I'm going to make a brand new Make 9 board. my goal is to try to work on that the rest of the year. I'm going to put the projects I have and I want to make by the end of the year on this board. I'm going to hold myself to say, let's try to finish this by the end of the year. If not, that's okay. It's okay. I'm not holding myself to that standard of it has to get done, because I realize that for me and my personality, that's unrealistic. And it's okay. It's knitting. It's not, a strict goal. Now, if I was making like the Lovenote, that is a gift for somebody. I have to hold myself more accountable for the deadline for that. So yeah, that's my dream knitting, future makes that I want to have, stash update. Oh, I did not talk about the stash. Whoops, stash update. So I ended September. No, we're in September now. I ended August with 280 skeins of yarn. So that's what I was starting September with. It's the beginning of September, so I can say I have taken out 22 skeins from that 280, and I believe that would put me at 258. Don't quote me on that. I can't math in my head, but I think I might be right. If I am, great. If I'm not, I just prove my point. I can't math in my head. So, yeah. I've kind of taken a page out of Natalie over at Nitty Natty. There's some other things that I'm tracking because this is like my personal bullet journal, but here we go. I've got my yarn stash, and I'm gonna keep track of what goes in, what comes out. So speaking of stash update, let's chat about acquisitions. Acquisitions. I have a few. Up until yesterday, I was like, oh, I have a very, very short and small like acquisition section because I only had 3 things. Well, I've had 2 deliveries added since then. But it's still a pretty small acquisition section. Just a couple of pre-orders and 1 very special custom order that I feel so blessed to have. So let's go ahead and chat about my acquisitions. So first and foremost, here is August's colorway for the One Club to Rule Them All. Let's see if I can't get my face out of here, and there we go. Look at that. I love the ball band. So this is from Long Dog Yarn. I absolutely love her variegated. She's my go-to if I want variegated yarn. This is the colorway is the Battle for Helm's Deep. So this was from the second Lord of the Rings movie, and I showed this one to my husband, and I think this is his favorite colorway so far. My plan is to save money, and in January, when she's doing the order for sweater quantities for the whole year of these, I want to get 1 sweater quantity for my husband and 1 sweater quantity for myself. I already know what color I want, but who knows? We still have 4 more skeins coming in. We've got September, October, November, December. So these are all going to be from the 3rd movie. So yeah, acquisition number 1. So then, the next acquisition, and part of the crinkling, I wanted to keep everything separate. So, I am excited. So as you know, I have the Sock Yarn Society subscription from Arkansas Yarn Co. And after I received one of the, like, every time they have a box sent out, they do a survey. Well, I answered the survey, and I had just received, was it this one? apologize. I can never remember which it is. It's this box. I can never remember which box has what. So I had just received these two skeins here, and I want to say this was July's colorway. So July's colorway was Living the Salt Life, and I mean, look at that. That is just beautiful. Okay, and I'm back. 14 minutes go through really quickly. So I was sharing this colorway. It's really beautiful. This was July's colorway for the Sock Yarn Society box. And in the survey, you know, they had asked, or like for comments and things. And just because, you know, I'm not a sock knitter, I'm a garment knitter. And I get 2 skeins. And I mean, 2 skeins of fingering weight, especially if you pair it with mohair, it can go a long way. And you can almost make an entire sweater with 2 skeins. So that's why, you know, I'm okay with this. I can make t-shirts, I can make crop tops. I made a Lovenote with 1 skein paired with mohair of her yarn. So I responded that it would be, you know, I would love, at least for me myself, that, you know, I commented that I'm more of a garment knitter and I would really love, you know, some suggestions of colors that would go with these, you know, that they have in their stock. And, you know, just to kind of supplement and add a little bit extra so I can kind of do other things. And then Lori over at Arkansas Yarn Co. responded back to me, and, you know, because they did add in the comment, I'm like, I know that's, you know, very specific to me. I'm not, you know, it's not everybody's gonna want that, but at least for me, that's what I would love, just because that, you know, I am a garment knitter. And then she asked if I wanted her to make a custom dye, if you know, I wanted her to custom dye a color to match this. And I said yes. And I was like, can you make it on your mohair base? And she did. And oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. So I have 2 skeins of Salt Life to go with this. And I think, I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet. Definitely a sweater, definitely holding it together. Don't know if I want to make, I think it's the Diaphanous sweater by Jessie Made, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It could be a ranunculus, it could be a Lovenote, it could be just anything that, whatever 437 times 2 is with mohair to make a DK weight, whatever that is, I want to make something. I love this color. I think that would be really fun to make the Diaphanous with this. But then, and that was my original plan, but then you should see the color I just got for this month, for August. But this was July's colorway, and I was so grateful that she had, you know, even offered that. I was not, when I, you know, made that comment, I was not expecting any response. It was just like my feedback, right? That you can, you know, I myself as a garment knitter would appreciate just little, you know, suggestions of here's colorways that could pair with this, or, you know, different things. I did not expect her to offer to do a custom dye, and I was blown away when she emailed me and said, I can make you a colorway, I can dye it for you. And I'm just like, I mean, I love pink. I love pink. So, yes, this will turn into something. And then, of course, in there, they always send you, pretty much every order that I've ever had has one of their stitch markers. This is the resin stitch markers in the shape of an Arkansas, which, you know what, I don't mind having. I don't live in Arkansas, but I did. So, it's okay. But speaking of the Sock Yarn Society, and again, part of the crinkling, but here's August's. This came in the mail yesterday, and I was so excited when I got it. So I'm gonna try to be as pull out as easily as I can. But the colorway is called Granny Smith Walked Uphill Both Ways. I love it. I love the pun because of like Granny Smith apples with the green, but then it was like school, and you always hear these schools about like your grandparents and how they walked up the hill both ways to school. Like, I love the name, but I love the color just as much. So I get 2 skeins of the Yummy Sparkle, which is a 75 superwash merino, 15% nylon, 15 stellina, and I love this base. And I like this color. I mean, it's pretty bright. It's actually really bright for me, but I'm trying new colors. I'm trying new things. I feel like this might work, but I saw this color and I was like, oh, now this could be a diaphanous. I think I'm saying the name of that sweater right. But I don't know what I want to make with this. This is just gorgeous. And I have one that has blue from, is this September's? I think this is actually September's, and then the blue is August. This is September's, my bad. I was thinking August because back to school is typically in August, but this is September's colorway, and I love it. Okay, so here's the goodies, and I have to say, I've been doing subscription boxes for about a year. This is probably by far one of the best goodie sets ever. So my thought is it's a pencil case. Get everything out of it so I can show it to you. But my thought is it's a pencil case, right? But it's clear and it's got glitter and rose golds. I love glitter. I love rose gold. I love sparkle. This is me. Inside this is a mechanical pencil, a little needle, drawing a blank on the name of it, but you know, for a darning needle, I think, you know, one of those in green to match. Always get tea stash. This is cinnamon apple chamomile tea. Some adorable scissors, and they're so cute and purple, and I actually needed some more scissors. Although I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the ones that kind of like you have to like pull apart and then open, just because Winry likes to get a hold of my scissors and she hasn't figured out how to get to them. She can get these, they're sharp, and she can cut with them. So I prefer the other ones because they're childproof in my mind at the moment, but I still needed new scissors. And there was also hand sanitizer in a cute little pouch. Oh, and it has the logo on it. I didn't know if there was like a scent or anything to it, because I know sometimes you can get scented hand sanitizers, but hand sanitizer. And of course, the stitch marker, and this one is green. Okay, so that is that one. I absolutely love this one. And I was so excited for this. I just wanted to like play with it and start putting things in this pouch. I was like, no, set it aside, don't touch it. You don't play with it until you talk about it on your podcast. On the next episode, it's only one night, you can do it. And I did, yay! So, yeah. We got 2 more, well, technically 3 more things. This next one is August's donut of the month from Charmed and Dangerous, and it is a pumpkin with a cute little fairy door on it. I love it. And the last thing I got as part of a pre-order, I got 2 project bags and requested matching Notion pouches. But hold on, and I'm back. I thought I would just go ahead and open them so you didn't have to hear the crinkling. But before I even tried to open it to actually show it to you, how nicely folded they came. Oh, I got project bags. I'm so excited. Okay, you ready? So, Georgianne at Stitching Plaza had a limited pre-order for some amazing bags. So here is the Lisa Frank bag. I'm a child of the 80s, grew up in the 90s. I heart me some Lisa Frank. I could not resist Lisa Frank. So I asked her, because I did not see an option when I was pre-ordering the bags for Notion pouches. And I love, sorry, mohair in my mouth, but I love having the matching Notion pouch. Like, it just, I throw it in there, everything I need in here, I just throw it in the bag, and it just keeps everything nice because there's no like pockets or anything inside, so the pouch is necessary. And her fabric's too precious to not have a matching Notion pouch. So then you got the rainbow glitter up at the top. Lisa Frank. I mean, this is like nostalgic to the 10th degree. Like, oh my goodness, I loved Lisa Frank as a kid. So here's the first one, Lisa Frank. Well, again, hello, child of the 80s. What else did I grow up with? This was more in the 80s, where I feel like Lisa Frank was like 90s. Because I was older when I was going to school, and I always had Lisa Frank. But this is for sure 80s. My Little Pony. My Little Pony. I love the, like, the tie-dye with, like, the little starbursts and clouds and everything, like the fabric. Georgianne's fabric choice is always amazing. Like, I have to resist so hard every update. And I'm proud of myself. I've been holding off on purchasing bags for most of her updates, but I just could not hold back with these two. My Little Pony. And I'm sure I get you with some thread still attached to it. And I don't think there's any unicorns. I see the Pegasus and I see the Earth. Oh no, wait, there's a unicorn. Or as Winry says it, Cocorn? Something, cornicorn or cocorn or something. It's the way she says unicorn, it's really cute. But she loves watching the newer ponies. The there's this new one, Next Generation, I think is what it's called. Winry loves that one, where I grew up with the original. Well, I think it's first gen. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure the ponies from the 80s are first gen. And then the ponies from like the early 2000s is second gen. And then there's a new gen that Winry's into. But that's okay. I will watch the second gen if I have to with her, which I have a couple of times, but still, My Little Ponies, the original first gen is forever will be my favorite. Which I don't think these are first gen by any means, but they're still ponies and they are adorable and I love them. I digress. I could not resist. I could not resist them. They're so pretty. So that is my acquisitions. That was a lot of talking for not a whole lot of stuff, but I mean, just everything in general that I received acquisition wise has great stories, especially the custom mohair. Like, I'm still blown away that Lori offered to custom dye a color for me. Okay, so I think that's everything that I wanted to chat about. Let's kind of chat, do a quick update again and refresher of the Shop Your Stash make-along that again I am hosting with my friend Bethany over at Gypsy Bird on Instagram and Gypsy Bird Makes Podcast. All of her information, of course, will be linked below. But it started! September 1st was the kickoff for our make-along. Have you started? Have you cast on anything yet? Have you thought about what you wanted to make yet? I don't know. I have. I cast on. We're doing good. But I I at least wanted to refresh everything for you. So whips are allowed so long as they are less than 50% completed. 700 skeins of stash minimum to be qualified for a prize at the end. Yeah, I think that's about it. That kind of goes with it. It's pretty simple. Shop your stash, make anything that you want, so long as it's like 700 yards or less. I know that, so on Bethany's Ravelry group page, she is hosting the chatter thread, and in the chatter thread someone has asked if they could do like a hat and mittens. Well, if it's like a set, that'll totally count. Otherwise, if it's just a hat and separate mittens, you know, then that doesn't necessarily count, because it does have to have the, you know, 700 skeins, or 700, ooh, that'd be a lot, 700 yards. But again, if it was, you know, okay, but I mean, if it was a set, because sometimes you have like those sets that they match and go together, I think that should be okay. That's what Bethany had said. Knitting, crocheting is welcome, either or. And if you wanted to, I would imagine spinning would be eligible too. If you wanted to spin some of your rovings, or, you know, your bats of yarn that you have in stash, I don't see why that couldn't count. I don't know how we would work that, well, like the equivalent of that would be, I don't know if it'd be making 700 yards or whatnot, but if you are a spinner and wanted to participate, reach out to me. I will let you know the specifics if anyone is interested. But yeah, so of course the make along is gonna go until October 31st on Halloween. That'll be the last day. That'll be the wrap up. I would like to potentially have a live one of these days with Bethany to kind of chat about the make along. Yeah, I think that's about it that I can think of for the make along. I did not run through everything specific. I will link it below. Bethany has a video that just talks about everything. And I do, on my Instagram, I do have like a thing of the everything that qualifies for it. So what else is going on? Ooh, today's the 4th. So I think sometime today I will find out what team I will be on for the pigskin party. I decided to participate this year. So I'm excited to participate and do things like that. So I'm pretty sure none of the things that I have on right now are going to count. But so I want to get all of these off of the needles, because I have projects and that I want to work on, and I want to participate in this make along. So yes, that is that. Okay. I know there's something else I was thinking of mentioning, but brain farts. My brain, it's just not working today. Okay. Yes, so it's been, I'm sure you noticed, 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. So last week was dumpster fire. The weekend I just was not able to find time to record. And then Monday night I slept wrong, because, you know, apparently 37 is old and you hurt yourself in your sleep. I pulled a muscle in my neck. Had to call off work. Fortunately, my best friend was able to adjust me, and yeah, I've been dealing with that. Finally able to move. Depending on how I lay when I sleep, it still hurts, but I'm able to move and run around windry. And then ragweed started to bloom, and now this is happening. So you may have noticed by now in the video there were lots of like transitions and things, because either camera battery ended or I had to blow my nose or cough, because just my allergies manifest as just severe sinus congestion. And it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. So yeah, that's that. That's what I've been struggling with. And of course, my focus has been on studying for my independent licensure exam so I can become an independent licensed social worker. Licensed independent social worker. I said that wrong, but I digress. I will still be independently licensed, whichever order I want to put it in. So my test is actually this Thursday, September the 8th. So I have been studying for that. Keep your fingers crossed for me, guys, that I pass. And if I don't, that's okay. I can take it again. It's not going to affect my work. I'm not going to put like an exuberant amount of pressure on myself because I know I will do worse on the test if I do that. I know I'm not the greatest test taker. I failed my license social work exam to become licensed. Failed it the first time, had to wait, took it again, passed it, no big deal. Like, it's not going to affect my work. It's just going to affect when I can bump up and evidently, essentially, I guess I should say not evidently, but essentially like get promoted and get a raise. So we social workers don't make, I need some. Kids are expensive, especially with daycare and gymnastics and extracurriculars because we're almost 3. So yeah, I guess we could say she is almost 3 because she's 2.5 years old. Wow, time flies by. But speaking of Winry, I mentioned on one of my videos way back, if there was anything that you guys wanted to know, let me know and I would answer questions for you. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have another transition. Battery apparently needs to be changed. 1 second, guys, and I'm back. Battery is changed. We should be good for the rest of this. But as I was saying, one of you guys reached out to me and commented and wanted to know where Winry's name came from. Well, that's a funny story. So we are actually pretty nerdy. We love anime. My husband and I, we play video games. I am a big fan of Korean dramas. But as I mentioned, we like to watch anime, and her name is actually from the anime Full Metal Alchemist. There is this very amazing, strong female character in this anime called Winry Rockbell, and that is where her name came from. My husband has always loved that name. He just thought it would be a great name, and I'm gonna even pull up on my phone here. We had other names picked out. That'd be fun to kind of maybe share some of those because it was just interesting how we had a lot of different names picked out. So one of the names that we had on our baby list was Tekla Rain, and it'd be Rain, R-A-Y-N-E. Tekla is actually a family name. So Winry, her name is Winry Adelaide. Of course, that was the winning name. We had, I liked the name Savannah, that got next pretty early. Delilah, that got next. Ruby Rose, and then I liked some of the other names, like I liked Briar and Everly, and I'm like, those are really common, and I just knew we wanted something unique for Winry. And even after she was born, I was still iffy on the name. I was like, is it too unique? Is it too out there? But then I held her. Well, as well as I could with her being in the NICU, but I saw her and I was like, that's her name. She's not any of these other names. She's a Winry. So that is where her name came from. It is from an anime, Full Metal Alchemist. So there you go. That's her name. there's anything else that you guys would love to know about, like us, me, just, you know, some things, let me know. Anything about knitting background, things like that. If you ever want a Q&A, let me know and I can answer some questions for you guys. But that was a really fun one, and I responded back and I was like, I will answer that in the next episode, because it was a little too lengthy to just say. I mean, I could have just said it's from this anime here, but it was just a really cute little funny story, and it was just like, he's like, I just knew it. Like, he was dead set on that name, and I was playing with other names because I was just, you know, because again, I was trying to pick out a name. I'm Southern, right? I'm from the South. Monograms are important. I monogram everything. Had to have a good monogram that wasn't going to spell anything weird. And I wanted to make sure, I mean, I know kids can be cruel. I didn't want anything that could be, you know, made fun of easily. It's just a very unique little name, and it fits her personality to a T. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. What else do we have going on? Oh, tomorrow, of course, is, as I'm filming, it is September the 4th, which is a Sunday. So tomorrow is Labor Day. So if all goes well, we are planning on doing a trail ride. And my husband loves his Jeep. It is modified. He loves going on trail rides. I have not been on one since I was pregnant with Benry, and then I was banned from them by my husband because we don't stop often, and I was to the point in my pregnancy where I had to pee like every 30 minutes practically. So he did not want me on the trails, and then of course with an infant it was just too difficult. She's 2 now, so we are going to go on our first trail ride with her. Nothing too extreme, but that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. And if weather permitting, because it is supposed to rain tomorrow, but weather permitting, I am going to film that for you, and if I do, you'll see it. And if not, I apologize. We just weren't able to get out, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be really fun. No clue how Winry will react to that. I think she'll like it, but then again, I don't know. I mean, she likes when we try to go in the garden and on her little Power Wheels? Yeah, Power Wheels. Her pink Jeep, which is one of those Power Wheels, like, she kind of likes doing that and going off the curb of the sidewalk and stuff. So we're hoping she'll like it. I think that's about it, honestly. It's just been knitting when I can. I had a lot of progress these last 3 weeks. But it's been 3 weeks. But I feel like I've had a lot of progress to show you guys. I'm hoping I'll have a finished object to show you next time around. If not 2. Because I'm taking knitting with me if we go. Tomorrow, I'm going to be... It's like an hour and a half drive to where the trail is from our house. And then we go on the trail. And then that takes like however long. And you're in the car the entire time. I'm going to have a lot of time to knit tomorrow. So I am planning on bringing the Lovenote and my Lapis for my knitting, because it's at that maybe even the Radvent. Might even bring this one, just depending on, like, who knows how long we'll be on the road for, and I know I'll get through the Lovenote pretty quickly, but I'll probably just bring those 2. But yeah, so that's it. And I think by the time I film next, we'll have gone with our friends and potentially played Dungeons and Dragons, which is not this weekend but next weekend. So yeah, that would actually be the day before we film, so that's always fun. That I always bring knitting in there. And then it's not happening yet. Well, I mean, it started, it's going on. We love going to the Renaissance Fair and dressing up. Of course, I have several outfits, which I can no longer fit into because, you know, post-pregnancy body, post-baby body. I can't fit into my Gosh, what size did I get down to? Size 20, either 22 or 24 inches for the corsets. Like, I mean, of course, you want to go several sizes. It's several inches down below your actual like waist, because it cinches you in pretty well. But yeah, I don't really fit anymore. Everything's like spread and changed. So maybe I'll actually get a new corset this year. We shall see. But yeah, we love going to the Renaissance Fair. We dress up. When we went last year, she loved it. So when that happens, we're planning on going in October. When that happens, I'll add some videos of that, or at least pictures of that for you guys. If there's anything that you would love for me to attempt to vlog, because I do need to practice vlogging for you guys, because I am planning on doing Vlogmas in December. So I gotta practice. I gotta practice. I did not get a Advent or anything for October, so I can't do Vlogtober, because I know some knitting podcasts have Vlogtober, so I can't do that for you guys. But yeah, if there's anything that you would like for me to potentially vlog, or even if you want to see a little bit more of like that type of thing, comment down below. Let me know. I need to practice, because I really want to do Vlogmas for you guys, which would be really interesting. So typically our Christmases, the last 2 weeks we will spend with each family. So we'll go to one house for Christmas and then the other house for New Year's, and it's a lot of driving because one family's here in Ohio, which is the in-laws. My family is in New York. So lots of traveling. My sister's in New Jersey. we're all over the place. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. But yeah, I think I've been chatting enough today, because I'm just rambling. But if there's anything, again, that you guys, you know, want to know more about, or just anything in general, I love chatting with you in the comments. Comment down below. Reach out to me. I am on Instagram. I am Adorabelle85 on Instagram. And I'm sure somebody will ask, but Adorabelle was actually one of my first tunes or characters on World of Warcraft. So that just became my name for everything. So Adorabelle, and then Adorabelle Knits on Ravelry. I have created a Ravelry podcast page for the podcast. All of that will be linked below. Check it out. If you're participating in the Shop Your Stash Make Along, the finished objects thread will be hosted on my Ravelry group page. So yeah, but it was great chatting with you guys today. I hope everything goes well for you. I am looking forward to talking to you guys, seeing what you're making, and I hope you have a good one, and I'll chat with you in 2 weeks. Have a good one, and happy knitting. Bye.